He needs no introduction, so a big hand please for Rory.
Little girls, I am in the business of putting old heads on young shoulders, and all my pupils are the creme de la creme. You girls are my vocation. I am dedicated to you in my prime, and my summer in Italy has convinced me that I am truly in my prime. You are new to this institution. It is possible that you will hear my teaching methods decried in certain quarters as being unsuitable for a conservative school. That is to say, a school dedicated to the status quo, to the point of petrification. Petrification. P-E-T-R-I-F-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. Petrification. I do not intend to devote my prime to petrification. You little girls must be on the alert to recognize your prime at whatever time it may occur and live it to the full. Prop up your books in case of intruders. If there are intruders, we are doing our history, but we will not do our history. Instead, we're going to watch my favorite movie, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. In fact, I feel bad simply describing it as my favorite movie because I don't feel that that does justice to the movie, or at least it doesn't do justice to the role that this movie has played in my life, because it is not at all a stretch to say that this movie has, it changed the course of my life. My life would look entirely different if this movie had never been made. I think that one day in the hopefully fairly distant future, when I am on my deathbed and I am very dramatically trying to pull the energy together to write a list of all the people that I should thank or blame for how my life turned out, the list will probably have at the top my parents, and then it will have Muriel Spark and Dame Maggie Smith. Although if the drugs are really kicking in, we'll probably just have Jean Brodie, because she is real to me. And what I mean by that is, this movie is Panti Bliss. And of course, Panti Bliss has absolutely been my whole life. I wouldn't be standing here and introducing this movie if it wasn't for Panti and all that. And Panti is basically stolen from this movie. And she's not just stolen from the movie, and then she went off and did her own thing. This movie has influenced every single thing I have ever done with Panti since I first saw this movie. And that's not an exaggeration. For example, at this very moment, I've just come from rehearsals for a show, Riot. It's on Victor Street for the first 2 weeks of July. And I am using tons of this movie in it. One of the things I'm doing in the show is a spoken word lip sync that takes lots of elements from various movies and other sources, and they're all cut together, and Jean Brodie is all over it. I just wanted to point out that in the introduction said I was going to make a case for its iconic status. I'm not. I'm making a case for its iconic status in my life. I don't care how anybody else thinks about it. So when I saw this movie, I became absolutely obsessed with it. For a number of reasons. I mean, there's a lot of technical reasons. It's a brilliantly made movie. It's the script is eminently quotable. Maggie Smith is incredible. Celia Johnson is amazing. The pair of them together, there's all sorts of technical movie-making reasons why you should love this movie. But I don't care about any of those things. I only care about what the performance of Maggie Smith and the character as written by Muriel Spark. And the movie is based on a novella by her. It's really short and easy, but it's incredible. And the movie actually sticks very closely to it. The reason I became obsessed was because of the central character. She is a classic, heroine in the sense that throughout the first half of the movie, you'll absolutely love her. You'll think she is the only colourful thing in a grey world. Her students adore her. She is full of life and art and energy. But she has a massive flaw. And it's that massive flaw that makes her interesting. And of course, towards the end of the movie, you are meant to sort of blame her and feel less about her because of this big flaw. But I have to admit, I don't care that she, kind of was a bit fascist. I don't care, because everything else about her is so incredible. She is the colour in a grey life. And that is what I wanted Panti to be in my life and everybody else's life. That is what a drag queen is for. She is bigger than everybody else in the movie. She's more dramatic than everybody else in the movie. And also, from a totally superficial gay way, the costumes are incredible. And all of my style influences of Panti for the last 30 years, and every time I work with any costume designer or I meet anybody who's doing anything, I make them go and watch this movie. And I say, if you can't imagine Jean Brodie wearing it, I'm not going to wear it. The Maggie Smith Central performance, she won an Oscar for it. The movie is, dated in 1969, but was shot in 1968, which is the year that I was born, so I feel like I have a small spiritual connection to it there too. It's a powerhouse of a performance. It's a sort of scene-stealing performance, and if it wasn't for the fact that Celia Johnson, who's playing her nemesis in the movie, is also so incredible, maybe the movie could have been terribly one-sided. The other thing, of course, about the movie, and the reason I still use it a lot to this day, is there are so many quotable lines. Almost every line is quoted. 6 inches is perfectly adequate, more is vulgar. If scandal is to your taste, Miss Mackay, I shall give you a feast. Mary McGregor, those who like that kind of thing, well, that's the kind of thing they like. So, as a sort of a, movie quoting typical gay here, it has given me, years of enjoyment. I quote it to people without even then knowing what I'm quoting, and it doesn't matter. I'm enjoying the fact that I'm getting a Jean Brodie line into a heated argument. So I am not exaggerating when I say this movie changed my life. I have a writing desk at home, and above it is a huge poster, an original poster, which I'm so thrilled about. I have a number of posters for this movie. I have an original Japanese poster. I have an original British poster. I have the poster versions of when the video release. I'm honestly obsessed with this movie, and I don't know how many of you have seen it before. If you have, this is your chance to brush up on the lines. If you haven't, you're going to meet one of the most amazing characters ever put on celluloid. I want you to look at the costumes all the time. There's a lot of tweed, because she's Scottish and all that. But the colours are so incredibly rich, and so often she is shot, against grey backgrounds, and she's always erect. She is always in charge, and you can't help but love her, even when she makes a horrible and terrible mistake. So also, of course, it's a movie that's also it's about a sexual awakening too. And of course, that was very exciting to me when I first saw this movie, about 12 years old or something. But I'm just going to finish by saying that I actually sort of hate all of you at the moment, because I have never seen this movie on the big screen. And it is devastating to me that I have another fucking thing to go to now. So I can't stay, and so I'm actually raging with all of you. So if you haven't seen it yet, I hope you love it. If you don't, we can't be friends. Enjoy it. It may not change your life the way it changed mine, but it'll certainly enrich your life and make you a little gayer.